Okay, thank you very much indeed for coming today, ladies and gentlemen, for our show on Saturday night at the O2 Arena. All the fighters involved, the main fighters involved in the show are here, including the top of the bill, which is between Roberto Garcia, here to my left, and Martin Murray, WBC silver middleweight title, and some excellent fights in the support of that. Anthony Yarde against Darius WBO Intercontinental and European light heavyweight title. Daniel Dubois, undefeated in 7 fights against Tom Little, who's down to my left. And Paul Kamanga coming in to take on Ohara Davies. Frank Warren promoting this one. And opening words from you, sir.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us. Obviously, it's been a lot of changes on this show. Unfortunately, Billy Joe Saunders pulled out for the second time of his title defence against Andy, but we have worked very hard to secure, which I think is a good opponent, a tough opponent for him. Sorry, Martin, a tough opponent for him against Roberto Garcia. It's for the WBC Silver Middleweight Championship. Roberto is looked after by Don King, who is actually on his way here, flying in, and should arrive later today or in the morning, so I understand. He's champion, 41-3. He's a very, very tough fighter. I think it's quite a long time since he's tasted defeat. And with Martin, we've got, for me, one of the stalwarts of British boxing. Always there, always in good fights. Been very unlucky in a couple of occasions where I think he could have got the nod in his title fights that he had. Can't afford to lose this fight. It's an opportunity that if he beats Roberto, that he gets himself into the number 1 position, a mandatory position for the WBC title. And I think we've done very well to get this fight on at such short notice. And I think it's going to be a cracking fight between 2 quality operators.
We'll hear from the 2 main guys in a moment, but concentrate first of all, Frank, on the heavyweight battle with Daniel Dubois in action and taking on Tom Little, who's here in front of us. Daniel undefeated in 7 fights now, and I know that Tom's fancying this one.
Well, he is. I know that Tom will come to fight. Daniel's done tremendously well for himself in a short period of time. He only had 7 senior bouts as an amateur, but he's done, he's got himself into won himself a couple of belts already. He's got the WBC World Youth Championship. He's got the Southern Area title. And Tom is a tough operator. He's been around the block. He certainly will not come into this fight thinking that he's there to make up the numbers. He fancies the job. I know he's being trained at the moment by Don Charles, who's in the audience here somewhere. He's been looking after him. So Don's training him. You can be sure he's getting good sparring with Derek Chisora and whoever else Don's got in the gym. So he's going to be working hard to try and take away all what we think Daniel's got, and that is the guy who's going to be the next big thing in the heavyweight division. It's a great opportunity for him, and we will see what happens.
Well, let's hear from Tom. Introduce him to you, maybe some of you for the first time. Tom, how do you fancy this fight? Why do you believe that you can do what others have failed to do against Daniel?
Because I'm much more than a 4-day notice man who's coming to pick a paycheck up. My pride, like I said in the last press conference, my pride can't be bought. And we'll see if a boat floats with a few holes in it, because that's what I'll be doing from very early, tapping him up, drilling that rib cage for him, take a bit of gas out of him, and I'll drown him slowly.
Can you just pull that microphone just in front of you a little bit? That's it.
Sorry, mate.
Talk forward on it, Tom. Just talk to the guys there.
Yeah, so I believe that there's a lot of hype surrounding Daniel, as there are in a lot of fairy tales and fictional stories. But the first real test, I want to welcome him to a man's world very shortly and sharply.
Have you sparred him in the past?
We've done a couple of rounds, but nothing that you could really take anything out of. Sparring stories are sparring stories. Daniel's a good quality kid, but when I say kid, I mean the word kid. There's a lot to learn. I just believe this fight is way too early for Daniel. He's all right against the D.L. Joneses and the Dorian Darches and the whoever else, whatever taxi driver you want to put in front of him, you stand in front of him, he's going to cave your head in. But when you put someone with an intelligent boxing brain, with ambition, who ain't coming to lay down, then it's going to be a whole different story on fight night.
So you're confident you can make him miss where others haven't?
I'm confident that I'm going to take him out to deep water and I'm going to drown him very slowly.
Daniel, you're going to be taken into deep water and slowly drowned. Thoughts?
He's got a snorkel. He'll be all right, don't you worry.
I'm a strong swimmer.
No, tell us what you think hearing that. In all seriousness.
Well, I don't like Tom. I don't dislike him, but I'm ready for Saturday. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to do the business, and let's go.
Do you expect, or are you prepared for this possibly going a great deal further than fights you've had so far?
Really, I'm just prepared to fight. You know, if it ends in the first or the last, I'm really just ready to fight.
He's going to try and mess you about, I guess.
He can try what he wants, so I'm ready for it.
Tom?
Listen, do you know what? This is painful. But, look, I think Daniel knows in his own head, I ain't a superstar. I ain't the one, I've got zero pressure. Zero. I want to clarify that. Well, when you're a 16-1 underdog in a 2-horse race, that's how much pressure's on me. None. He's the one who's got to impress. But when he comes back and he's 6 rounds down and he's looking for a money shot and I'm going, boom, 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 and he's over there flying back like he's got a nervous twitch, then hopefully afterwards I'll give him, me and him will go out, we'll have a laugh, we'll have a joke, I'll take him to meet some nice ladies, and I'll welcome him to a man's world like a true gentleman. So yeah, that's about it, really.
Anything more to say about that, Daniel?
Not at all. Spring on Saturday. Tom to me looks like a very weak man, to be honest. He's a very weak man, and I'm going to show him Saturday. You're a weak man.
We'll see how weak I am.
You're weak.
I'm
nothing.
I'm weak.
You're nothing.
Listen, that's all you got is strength. Listen, you stand in front of a tractor.
I don't care what you are.
Yeah?
I don't care.
You don't care. You'll care very shortly. I can't believe I've got you to talk. I can't believe I've got you to talk. Honestly, do I get a pay rise? Listen, never mind weak. It don't take power. Power's
I'm not talking about
irrelevant.
Mentally. You're not strong. You're not strong.
You don't have a
You're
brain,
weak.
boy.
You're weak.
This is the most
You're
people
weak.
seen of you.
You're weak.
Have you got anything else other than weak? Or anything, just you're weak?
You are a weak man, and I'm
Alright,
going to show you that on Saturday.
Listen, let me tell you something. I've been living in your head for 6 weeks rent-free, right? You can keep doing whatever you're doing, keep playing however you're playing, right?
You're
But
just
you know your
talking rubbish.
career's going to lay in front of you like a Lego set, and you're going to think, where did I go? I'm fighting for my own dream. You're fighting for your daddy's, right? You're the Michael Jackson of boxing. You're the Michael Jackson of boxing.
What does
you ain't
that
had a
even
child.
mean?
You
What
ain't
does
had a
that mean?
childhood. Go to the gym, train, do this, do that.
I've
Now,
been
when you-
blessed.
listen,
I've been
listen.
blessed to have a dad that's put me in the
Listen,
gym
no,
from a very young age,
that
and
you
he's
are-
he's
you
looked
are-
after me.
listen,
He's
it ain't
guided
a
me.
bad- it ain't
So don't
a
say
bad
nothing
thing.
about my dad, because
Listen, it ain't a bad thing. I'm not disrespecting your father in
Go on.
one slightest bit. But what I'm saying is, I've done everything I've done with no help, with no guidance. So when it gets down tough and it gets down and dirty, you'll be looking around like, what do I do now? I know what to do now. I've been there. I've done it. So listen, you're going to be on your own, no help. No
I'm ready for a fight
advice.
Saturday. You can say
Yeah,
what you
listen,
want.
we'll see
You
how
say what
ready
you
you are. We'll see how ready you are. You're the superstar. You've got to impress all these lot. I haven't.
I don't care about these guys. I don't care about none of them.
You'll care very
I don't
much
care
about
about
them
none
on
of them.
Saturday.
None of them.
When your eyes are swelled up
None
out
of
your
them.
head.
None of them.
Yeah, right. Listen.
Tom, what went wrong when you fought Dorian Darsh? Because Daniel
Mervyn,
got
what
rid of
went
him.
wrong?
He got rid of him in a couple of rounds. You were on the wrong end of a decision.
What went wrong? Well,
Yeah.
a Welsh referee, that's what went wrong. Listen, boxing in the away corner, listen, we're all boxing men here. We know if you take a fight, I took an educated gamble and it didn't pay off, which I've had to take quite a few of those. That's boxing. if you look at on paper, I'm guilty. I'm guilty, granted. I've not took boxing as serious as I should have. But let me tell you something. I've screamed and shouted for a chance like this from a very early start. I will not put it to waste. And that is the be-all and end-all of it.
Frank, we've got a proper one.
Well, we have. I said it's a step up for Daniel, but I believe in Daniel, and he knows that. And I think that he needs these type of fights. He needs these type of press conferences. That's all about the learning process. He's a novice as far as professional boxing is concerned in dealing with these things. But in the ring, when he gets in the ring, and you watch him, he's one of the most natural heavyweights I've ever seen. And for me, I think he's the best young heavyweight I've seen in my time in boxing at this stage of his career. Now, we're going to see what Tom's got to say about that on the night. And as he said, of course there's pressure. There's pressure on both of them. There is pressure because Tom's bringing his fans. He'll want to do the best for his fans. He won't want to be rolling over. He's coming there, and as he said, he's a proud man. He'll come to fight. And Daniel will just do what he does naturally. I don't mean it's disrespectful. He's like a boxing machine. He doesn't care about all this, what we're doing now. All he wants to do is fight. He just wants to be in the ring. That's where he'll come alive in the ring on the night. And I think we're going to see a good fight because Tom is coming to fight him. And that's going to be good for the fans.
Now, alongside our two heavyweights, we've got a fight for the WBC International Super Lightweight title. Paul Kamanga, who is originally from the Republic of the Congo, then South Africa, now based here in the UK, WBC International Champion, and he's up against Ohara Davies, who has had one fight back under Frank's promotion. Ohara looking at some stage in the next year, he hopes, if he can come through this, by winning this belt, to move on potentially towards a world title challenge, Frank.
Well, certainly that's what it is. He's got a tough fight. Again, it's a replacement, but what a replacement it is. It's the guy who's in the top 10 of the WBC. And as you say, he's 21-0, and it's a tough fight for Ohara. He's not had time to prepare for this particular opponent, but he's a true professional. He's got tremendous belief in himself, and he comes through this one, he'll be there or knocking on the door for a shot at the world title.
Now, Paul is the champion here. Ohara is the one challenging. Paul, taking this fight at late notice, tell us your thoughts about Ohara as a boxer.
Well, thanks everyone for being here. Ohara, personally, I don't share the same sentiment that the British public might regarding his boxing. I think he's average at best. I think we got a late notice, obviously 12 days, but I think we're ready. I don't see anything special in this kid. I don't see him going 10 rounds with me. And I believe we're going to go out there, do the business, finish. I think I'll do because I've heard in the past there's been some controversial issues between me and the English public. So I think I'm here to do the British public a favor. And so come watch Saturday night. And I think many people think, obviously, late notice, I'm coming out here as a replacement, just here for the payday. No, my friend. Something coming big on Saturday. I have a good camp, obviously training up in Manchester with Sean and the guys from Fight Factory. And we've had a good camp, 12 days, best 12 days of my life. And come Saturday, you're going to see a machine, you're going to see a beast, I'm not just here to beat Ohara, I'm here also to make a statement to the British public, I think this is there, make a statement, and show the British fighters that I'm here. Paul Kamanga is here, 4-time Pan-African champion, the WBC International champion.
Paul, tell us a little bit.
Sorry, can I carry on before I was rudely interrupted? And so I want to show everyone I'm not just champion by mistake or by luck. I'm a champion because I deserve to be a champion, and I'm going to put this kid away.
Good words. Okay. Paul, tell us a bit about your background, about how you come to be fighting here in the UK, because originally from the Congo.
Yeah. I was born in the Congo. I moved to South Africa when I was about 10. No interest in boxing, really. I watched one fight. My dad had a clip of Muhammad Ali when they fought in Congo. and played football. I was a good football star. I had a good future in football. But I fought a lot, I had a fighting instinct in me. Fought a lot, hit people in the street, at home, at school, wherever, Johannesburg, what you expect. And so one day I got a bad injury from football. I got hit by a couple of guys when I joined boxing for revenge. And the rest is history. And from there, I turned professional. Had about 18 fights, undefeated, 4-time WBA Pan-African. But I had a short folding with my ex-promoter. Decided to retire. I was about 21, 22. That's when the magic of Facebook worked. A friend of a British promoter, Albert Siesta, who owns Siesta Boxing, contacted me on Facebook, told me to come through, fight in Russia. And I was too young to retire and see if we can take it from there. I went, I fought in Russia, and a relationship started. Initially I was down in Southampton. I had one fight there. That's when I met Sean. Sean is obviously in charge of Fight Factory. And they offered me a 3-year contract, and then I moved up north, and that's where I'm based. My home is still South Africa, and so after every camp, I still go home, got family to see and friends. But I got 2 homes, I want to make Manchester my home too. And I'm going to make a statement for my future home on Saturday.
Ohara, you hear what he has to say for himself. He's a tricky fighter. 1 or 2 people have said to me that this guy could be a banana skin. He could be a guy who is better than people think.
This guy's a bum, but I won't lie. The story that he gave us, it was amazing. He had a half past and he came up the hard way. Listen, we all came up the hard way. And he's going to be easy work on fight night as long as I'm smart, as long as I'm sharp. And that's what boxing's about. Boxing's about being smart, being sharp. I'm not concerned about his past and he came from this and he came from that. Listen, that stuff, it don't matter. When you get in that boxing ring, only thing that matters is your ring IQ. And he's going to come in like, I'm going to dethrone Ohara Davies. Ohara Davies has been through all this controversy, so I'm going to knock him out and I'm going to be famous. Everyone's going to be talking about me. That's not happening. You're going to get beat, you're going to get paid, I'm going to take your belt, and you're going to get in the next flight back to Congo. And then I'm going to go out to the McDonald's, I'm going to get myself a nice burger, I'm going to go out to Five Guys, because listen, I ain't had a burger in like ages. So I'm going to go out to McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, eat as much food as I can, and when he's on a plane back to Congo, I'll be on a plane to Marbella to go and enjoy my victory over him. My new WBC international title, back in the rankings.
Ohara, where do you want to go if you get through this and if you prove that he is what you say he is? Jack Catterall, Maurice Hooker?
When I beat him, I would like Catterall or Hooker. To be honest, Catterall wasn't really in my list, but it seems like people really want to make that fight happen, so I don't mind getting him out of the way. And then once I get Catterall out of the way, I'll take Hooker on next, but it's up to you guys. But anyway, my main focus is Saturday night, get this bum out of the way, crush his dreams, crush his goals, and he might have to retire again.
How much have you had a chance to look at him, to study his style?
I watched 1 or 2 things of him on YouTube. He's got a good left hook, so just got to keep my right hand up. He's got a good left hook, got to keep my right hand up and be sharp. As soon as he throws the left hook, block, bang, and throw my left hook. And, we'll roll it, cross. Listen, the shots that I'm saying are the shots that I'm actually going to throw. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to hit you with before I even do it. That's how easy I'm going to show you. And I met his coach once. He was with Seb Eubank. He's the coach for Seb Eubank. I met him up in Manchester, and I liked him. I thought this guy was actually okay. And I see that he's a coach for my opponent. I'm not too sure whether I like his coach anymore. I'm not sure if I like his coach anymore. But Saturday night I'm here to do the business and then win my WBC international title. Back in the rankings, crush his goals, crush his dreams, and everyone that thought I was done. Because listen, at the start of this year, everyone thought I was done when I got thrown under the bus. Frank Wen, I want to thank you for giving me this great opportunity. I'm fighting on a great bill. Listen, my whole boxing career, I've been hearing this about Frank, hearing that about Frank. Listen, I'm here, and everything that everyone said to me was a lie, and I'm glad to be where I am right now.
Paul, just one last word from you. I hear that you had a bit of a family tragedy recently, and you're devoting this fight and your performance to the memory of your grandmother. Tell us a little about that.
Yeah. Obviously, I never grew up with my grandmother. She was obviously in the Congo when I was in South Africa. But last year I flew back and she was in South Africa, so spent a couple of months with her. Amazing lady. She unfortunately passed away last month, and so I'm dedicating this fight to her. And so you know what it means. It's business, and I'm coming in full force. And we'll see. We'll take it from there. See what else Britain has to offer.
That's the problem with guys like him. You can't use things that happen in your life and the tragedies that happen in your life to say, because of this, I'm now even more. I'm actually going to win this fight because of this. Listen, when you're in a ring, it's about your ring IQ, about how fast and how sharp you are. As long as I'm faster than you, as long as I'm sharper than you, it don't matter what you've been through or what's happened in your life. I'm sharper than you. No matter what emotion this guy can bring up, this happened, so because I'm so motivated, that stuff don't matter. You're going to get beat. You're going to get beat. Just make sure you make weight and make sure that you turn up on fight night. And after the fight, I'll pay for you to get a shave because it looks like you need one.
Frank, just a word about that fight.
Well, I think it'll be a fight, don't you? There's no love lost there, that's for sure. So,
Listen, I'm going to show everyone how easy this fight will be. This fight is going to be complete. This fight is going to be a walk in the park. I ain't even going to come out of first gear. I'm going to fight this whole fight in gear 1. I promise you guys that now. You won't see me sweat. If I do sweat, it'll be all the Vaseline that I got myself. But listen, I ain't going to sweat. This fight's going to be easy work. He's above me in the rankings. He's this, he's that. He's from Congo and he's hungry and blah, blah, blah. He's been through this, he's been through that. That stuff don't matter. I'm smarter than him. I'm done.
Okay.
I think that says it all.
And with that, we move on to our next fight, which is between the two guys at either end of the table. Anthony Yarde from Ilford, who's undefeated now in 15 fights. This is the WBO European Light Heavyweight title. He's also the WBO Intercontinental Champion, and those are the belts that he's got in front of him. Up against the gentleman here, Dariusz Sek from Poland, who's in his 34th fight, only 3 defeats on that record. He's taller than Anthony, and importantly, I think, for the first time, he's a southpaw. It's the education process, Frank, and this is a new test for Anthony.
It is. Obviously it's the main support bout to the main event. Anthony's a work in the making. Tunde's doing really well. He trains him and manages him, and obviously we promote him. And when we started out on this journey, it was all about getting Anthony in a position where he's learning, to get himself in a position where he fights for a world title, and by the time he gets to that position, he's got some experience. He had 12 amateur bouts, that's all he's had. He's obviously had a number of pro bouts. He's not fought, as you said, as a pro, he's not fought a southpaw, so this is yet another test for him. And this is all about him getting the experience, and I know that Dariusz will give him that. He's not coming to, as I always say, to lay on the floor. He's coming to fight. And a lot of people see, or think they see, chinks in Anthony's armour. But let me tell you something. He's one of those fighters, when it comes to it, when he's got to turn it on, he turns it on, and he's got that power that can take a guy out when he needs to do it. And I think in this fight, we're going to see a fight where he's going to have to be at the top of his game, where he's going to have to be thinking all the time, because as we said, it's a southpaw. But hopefully he will come through it, and he comes through it, we'll be stepping him up for his next fight.
I'll give you a couple of statistics about Dariusz. He's got a couple of losses on his record, but names who you might know. Robert Voga was one of them, another one, Robin Krasnicki. He's never been stopped, he's never even been knocked down, and when you look at his overall experience, he's had 230 rounds professionally, as against Anthony's 35, and he's twice gone 12 rounds, 6 times gone 10 rounds. So this is an experienced guy who's coming into this on the back of a victory, and clearly thinks that he's going to be able to do something that Anthony Yarde hasn't had to face.
He's lost one in his last 9 fights.
Yeah, tough guy. Darius, I don't think you speak too much English, do you? You've got the translator there to your left. Say hello to people and what you think you can do in this fight.
Witam wszystkich. Bardzo cieszę się, że mogę walczyć na tej gali i mogę wam powiedzieć, że ja zwyciężę w tą sobotę.
Welcome everyone. I am looking forward to the fight on Saturday and I will win the fight.
Have you had chance to see Anthony Yarde? Have you watched him?
Oglądałem bardzo dużo walk jego, tak naprawdę z trenerem już taktykę odpowiednią dobraliśmy do tej walki, trenowaliśmy bardzo długo i mam nadzieję, że on też tak trenował długo jak ja.
I've seen his fights and we've adapted our training techniques to help me with the fight towards Anthony on Saturday.
What makes you think you can win? How do you win?
Odpowiednią taktykę dobraliśmy z moim trenerem. Myślę, że będzie to walka na dystans. Nie będę wchodził z nim w niepotrzebne wymiany. On nigdy nie walczył z kimś takim jak ja, dlatego myślę, że jest i mam nadzieję, że jest gotowy do tego pojedynku.
I will keep my distance. He's never fought with anyone like myself before, so I will show him how it's done.
Anthony, he's 6'2", so taller than you, and a southpaw. Tell us about the challenge that you've got here.
Lions in the camp. Lions in the camp. Now, I want to thank everyone for coming, all the media, Frank Warren Promotions, Tunde Jay, thank you everyone in attendance as well. Darius Sek, I don't know too much about him other than, yes, he's a southpaw, but just like every other fight I've had, I've got to go in there and do my job. And I don't take no fighter lightly, so it don't matter if you're southpaw, westpaw, northpaw, eastpaw, it's a fight, and we'll see what happens fighting it.
How much experience have you had in sparring of going in with southpaws? Because it's different set of circumstances, different set of skills. Footwork.
It's a little bit different, but again, I haven't struggled. There's not been nothing where I'm like, oh wow, a southpaw is so much different. At the end of the day, it's a boxing ring, 2 fists, 2 feet, ring IQ, and when you got power, it relaxes your nerves.
As Frank was saying, I know in speaking to Tunde, this is something which he wanted and which you wanted to prove yourself against this sort of opponent.
Well, yeah, he's tough. He's never been knocked out again. Anyone that hasn't been stopped, and he's been in some good fights, this is just what I've been told of him. There's not no one that you take lightly. At the stage I'm at now as well, I'm not taking nobody lightly. I'm not going in there thinking, oh yeah, it's a pushover fight for this fight or for that fight. I'm focused on one fight at a time. The fight that I've got this Saturday is Davies Sek, and see how much seconds it lasts.
Frank, everybody is forever asking, when is Anthony going to be into a world title fight? How far away are the likes of Beterbiev and Kovalev and the rest of them, and the real big names of the division?
Well, we were offered it. We were offered a fight against Kovalev, and we turned it down. He's not ready for that. He's, he won't want to hear that. He wants to fight. I know he does. But Sunday and I discussed it, and he's not ready for that. He needs more experience. And once he's got that experience, look, we can make he could have had that world title fight and been fighting for it now. But the objective is to win the world title. And once you've won it, you've got to defend it. And to do that, you need experience. You need to be the best equipped you can by the time you're making that challenge. And he's got a little way to go yet.
Making world title fights is one thing, winning them. You want to get him there and winning the thing.
I'm not saying he won't win it, but when he goes in, he's with us. I want to make sure when he goes in there, he's absolutely 100% the best he can be to challenge for a world title, or any title for that matter.
How close do you feel, Anthony?
Again, my focus is Saturday. Yes, I heard about the world title offers, but as Frank Warren said, it's not a sprint. Boxing is not a sprint. You don't just jump in the ring and
try and say, I want to do this or I want to do that, and I'm just going to try and break these records and that record. I had 12 amateur fights. As much as I don't want to admit it to myself, it does play a part. Experience does play a part as well. All the legends say it. When they got to a certain level, experience played a big part. So again, I'm focused on one fight at a time. When the time comes, whoever's put in front of me, I've got to do my job and demonstrate. And this Saturday, I've got Davies in front of me, so I've got to demonstrate again.
And doing a job against a guy who's never been stopped, if you could do that, it kind of a feather in your cap.
I've done it before.
We've done that last night out, wasn't it?
Okay, well, let's move on to our main event, which is Roberto Garcia against Martin Murray, WBC silver middleweight title. And again, on paper, Frank, Roberto, I think it's right in saying you've not lost since 2010. You've been undefeated in 13 fights, yeah? I mean, this is one tough guy.
He is, and he's fighting another tough guy. So you've got two tough guys, so we're going to get a good fight. As you say, 2010, so it's 8 years since he's tasted defeat. Don doesn't get involved with fighters who he doesn't believe in or think that they can't fight, so I know it's going to be a tough fight for Martin. And Martin was preparing for a tough fight against Billy Joe Saunders, and that didn't faze him at all. So it's certainly not going to faze him facing Roberto Garcia. So it is a tough fight, but Martin knows what he's got to do to win it. He knows what he needs to do to keep himself in the running to get a crack at a world title. So he's never ever has been, and he certainly won't be fine wanting on the night.
So the first word from Martin, you must be delighted after the disappointments and I've read social media, as I'm sure everybody here has, and you've had a few angry words about what's happened with the two postponements, but you must be delighted that you're getting into the ring and you've got a big fight.
Yeah, first of all, thanks everybody for coming. Just want to say a big thank you to Frank Warren MTK and for Garcia for coming over. When Billy Joe pulled out for the second time, I thought that I wouldn't get a fight, and the fact that I'm fighting, a dangerous fighter, and somebody who's gonna, it's a meaningful fight, means a lot. So yeah, I'm obviously made up to be in this position. Like I said, I was gutted that Billy Joe pulled out, but I've not took my eyes off the ball. I've looked at Garcia. He's going to bring it on Saturday, so I'm expecting a tough night, but I've had a great camp and I'm ready to go.
Roberto, tell us about yourself. Mexican born, living in Texas now. Tell us about your background, how you come to be a professional fighter.
Well, it's been one hell of a ride, man. Let me tell you. I've always been on the B side. I've always been on the B side my entire fucking career, and I've always fought against all the odds. I built a career off pulling upsets, and those are facts. You know what I'm saying? I don't talk bullshit. I speak facts. And I've been looking for a fight since we went to Mexico to rob this kid over here. We went to fight a kid that was up on the rise, Omar Chavez, a big, strong kid. And they called me to fight him. I said, sure, no problem. We took this fight on 28 days' notice, and I do a full-time job. I did, that's fine. We went to Mexico, just me and my people. We went over there, everything for him, and everything. Just, we knew, we were always uphill. And it's nothing I'm not used to. I like that. I like being on the B side, the underdog. I don't talk, all this. I fight, and that's what I do. I'm a fighter. I'm the last throwback fighter. That's what they've called me. And, I'm just happy to be here, the opportunity. we almost had the Triple G fight a couple months back. We really wanted it. It made sense. He was the gold champ. I'm the silver champ. I don't know. But Abel Sanchez chose otherwise, his trainer. And it's been frustrated waiting for 9-10 months. And but we went to Mexico. We pulled off a huge upset with Chavez, and this fight, you know, I told Don, I said, Don, man, you need to get me in the ring. I want a big fight. I want a big fight, man, you know. And they called me about this fight with the Murray. I said, please, man, give me the fight, please. The next morning, when, you know, they got the answer, man, I was so excited, man. I said, you're not going to get me out of the gym. So I'm happy, me, my beautiful wife, my kids. I got a lot to fight for, man. And I'm going to be very honest with Mr. Frank Warren. Thank you, sir, for having us here. You know, I've heard a lot about you, and it's good things. But the truth of the matter is, I need this fight more than you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad to be here. Thank you, everybody.
And you went out of your way at an early stage to send the message to Martin that you were up for it and you weren't afraid of him.
No, sir.
Martin?
Yeah, and I was up for it. Obviously, he was, you know, he was calling for the fight on Twitter. So I know he's up for it. He's tough. Yeah, and I know he's going to bring it. You know, his style is the complete opposite to Billy Joe. I've said it. Billy Joe, southpaw runner, very slick. He's orthodox, come forward fighter in your face. Won't have to go looking for him. So it'll be a tough fight. I think, you know, you could say it's a tougher fight in some respects. I think Billy Joe would be more of a mentally tough fight, whereas it's going to be a physical fight. But, you know, I can relate to him, what he was saying then about being on the B side, exactly the same as me. You know, he sounds like he's fighting for his wife, his kids, his family, exactly the same as me. But I do feel it's about levels, and I'm a level above, and I'll show that on Saturday.
But you obviously respect him. I mean, the guy he's talking about, Omar Chavez, that's the great Julio Cesar Chavez's son, who he beat in that fight over in Mexico, and everything was stacked against him, and he produced a pressure performance, and he went out and did it. I mean, you have to respect that.
Oh yeah, I do respect it. You know, I've not, and I will not take him lightly. He's hungry.
You went to Argentina.
Yeah.
He was the B. I mean, this is about B. Was it two B guys? And I don't mean B listed. If you're saying on the B side, they're not the A fighters. Well, whoever wins this is going to be an A fighter. So this is going to be a fight. They're fighting. They're two guys at their age they're at. They're fighting to get their big chance of a world title fight. And whoever wins this is going to get a shot at a world title. It will happen.
Has it got eliminator status? Does the winner of this become a mandatory?
I think the winner of this will go into the one spot. I really do think that will happen. And whatever happens, you know, obviously I work with Martin. From his perspective and his point of view, if he comes through, I'll make sure we do it. I mean, we made a world title fight for him twice. Unfortunately, due to Bill being injured, it's not happened. But he's with us. He's committed, and, you know, and we're committed, and we'll make sure it does happen. This is a tough fight. There's no doubt about it. You know, the winner of this fight will, as I say, will become an A fighter. The winners on the night are going to be the fans, because this is going to be a cracker. You look at the two records, you look at the two styles, you know you're going to get an explosive fight here between two out-and-out warriors who've gone on the road in their careers. You know, as much as Roberto saying what happened to him, think what happened with Martin when he went to Argentina.
Yeah.
I mean, that is, to get a decision there is tough. You know, you can ask McKenzie that. It's very, very tough. I thought he won the fight, but this guy's been on the road. He's had it hard. He's done it hard. He's a fighting man. Roberto's a fighting man, and you're going to get something, I think, out of these two guys a little bit special on the night.
How much does ambition still burn, Martin, at 35, you know, and having had those fights and having come so close, how much do you still want it?
Yeah, well, obviously, being so close a couple of times before and tasting defeat and not quite getting it, it just makes me more hungry and determined. And you know, as soon as I feel that I can't offer the sport anything, I'll be gone. You know, I've got a lovely family. I do everything with me family, and you know, I've got other things that I could be doing other than boxing. This is just a job for me. I do want to become world champion, and I know that I've got the talent and determination to do it. I just need a bit of luck. You know, I need a world title fight at home. Yeah, because as Frank said, I had a couple of them who had been over here. You know, I was unlucky. I'm pretty sure had they been in had they been in England, I'd have got the nod, but that's all news now. Same with Billy Joe, the fight's gone, it's all news. I'm completely focused on Roberto Garcia on Saturday.
You've said that boxing, you know, kind of has not saved you, but it's been such an important part of your life, as indeed as being a family man, getting married.
Yeah, well, you know, it did save me massively. You know, I've got a book coming out, and all this will be documented in it. But I've been to prison quite a lot of times, and it was only through falling back into boxing, doing the only thing that I kind of knew.
I'm good at.
Yeah, turns out that, you know, I'm decent at it. That it's kind of, you know, got my life back on track, and, you know, it kind of coincided with meeting my now wife Gemma, and yeah, you know, it just seems that, you know, the harder the work, the luckier I get, and, you know, I've been unlucky a couple of times before, but I'm grateful and happy that I'm in this position, and looking forward to, you know, a good fight on Saturday, and, you know, seeing what options are there for me after a good win.
And Roberto, you know, boxing for you and being a family man, both important things in your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, everything I do is for my beautiful family, my daughters. I fight hard as hell, and I've had many guys say they're gonna rip my head off, but it always changes, you know. And I mean, that's just what it is. I don't care about that, because talking doesn't win fights. You know, I go hard, man. I go as hard as I have to. I don't mind. I walk the line, and you know, I go all out for my family, you know, and I fight hard. You know, God, family, boxing, that is my life, and I'm very happy to be here. I really am. Just 18 days ago, I was home in Texas, praying every night for an important fight. Every night, grabbing my wife's feet and everything, and I'm happy to be here today. I am very grateful, and I'm going to grab this opportunity by the horns, man. Thank you.
We'll have opportunity for photographs and one-on-one interviews shortly, but before then, any questions from the floor for the guys up here?
Yeah, it was like I said, you know, the styles, the complete, you know, polar opposites. We worked on, obviously, going forward a lot, chasing, you know, working on southpaw styles, you know, little shots, little things that, you know, we were going to try with Billy Joe. They were working in sparring. You know, he was just obviously ready to put him into action with Billy Joe, and then the late replacement come, who was the complete opposite. So it does kind of offer something different, but, you know, I've been in this game a long time now. I'm a very versatile fighter. I think stylistically, it's a better suited opponent for me. Like I said, it's more of a tough fight physically, but I think, you know, the fans are going to, you know, they're going to be the winners on Saturday, because it's definitely going to make for a more entertaining fight.
Well, I mean, he's ranked number 2 by the WBO at the moment. What do I see happening? I see it, you know, a few more each time he fights, stepping him up with an opponent, you know, in challenging fights. We tried to make the fight with Frank Buglioni. Don's here. We made it, you know, when he was champion, we made a substantial offer, and the fight didn't happen, which was a bit disappointing. But we moved on from there, and he's moved forward. And as I say, for the position we're in now with Anthony, he's got to come through. I think it's going to be quite a challenge for him on the night, but he comes through that. He'll be out again in September, and we'll be stepping him up. I'm looking, you know, he wants to be stepped up.
Any more, Dev?
Tom, you referred to Daniel as boxing's answer to Michael Jackson. Could you elaborate on that? What does it mean?
It'll be a thriller.
Yeah, well, what Frank said. No, listen, what I'm saying is what I'm doing for my own ambition. Like, if you've documented Daniel from when he started, it was very well public. His dad was a massive boxing fan, so it was his dad that got him into boxing. And so when it gets deep, I'll fight for my ambition, a lot more than I'd fight for my fathers. I'm fighting. I want to be a British heavyweight champion, a world champion. However far my talent will take me, based on my own ambition. That's why I believe when things get deep, when things get rough, he'll quit. That is why, because he ain't fighting for his own ambition, his own dream. I could be wrong. I could be sitting here chatting bullshit, but that's what I believe. I'm weak.
Any more? No? Right, final words, Frank.
Well, as I say, we've got a good fighting bill on. It'll be, you know, I understand there's a little bit of football on at the moment, so break from the football, see some really good fights. O2 Saturday night, all the guys are here. I think you've heard what they've all got to say. They're competitive. They've all got something to aim for here, and I think, as I always keep saying, the fans will benefit. We've got a good fight, good competitive fighting show, so we look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
All the lads are here for one-on-one interviews, so make your presence known if you want to speak to them, but thank you everybody for being here, and yeah, look forward to Saturday night.